What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be checking out a title called Ash Warden. This is a game where you are the last little bowman that's defending a series of towers, and you can teleport in between them, and your character auto-fires at all of the enemies that are going to be converging on those points. You're trying to last as long as humanly possible and stack up as much loot and resources as you can so that you can die, upgrade your character, and then go back again to see if you can make it a little bit further. There's been a lot of these little games coming out lately, but this one has an absolutely sterling art style. That's what caught me up about it, so I figured we'd give it a look here today for about 30 minutes, do some first impressions, and see if it's the kind of thing you wanted to add to your wish list, or if it's one of those games you would rather not play for yourself. That's also perfectly fine as well. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. The game's currently a demo. I do think I have my first impressions ideas together about this title, but it's there. You can play it just like I'm playing it right now, and then of course on top of that you can find a bunch of other Nerd Castle links just in case you wanted to click on those and make them extra strength happy. They don't get clicked very often. They're kind of like a neglected cat right now, all right? They sit down there, they meow, they drive me nuts. Just make the pain go away. But let's go ahead and dive on into the game. We'll start a new one off and see if we have a good time with it. Don't pay attention to that. For whatever reason, I don't think the game effectively saves just yet, because I played the game for like an hour on that profile just to figure out if it was a good fit for the channel, and it says that I didn't play at all. I've also had issues with my saves loading. So if you're going into this demo, just be forewarned, there are some little bugs with things like that, that this may be a one and done type deal if you wanted to try it out. It may not load your save after the fact. So at the beginning of the game, we get to pick between two characters. We can go with the Sight Sunder. Unleash a single arrow that is charged with raw energy. The old plasma arrow, eh? And then we've got a Verge brand over here. The Verge brand has a sword and smacks enemies. I kind of like the idea of being an archer since I'm going to be defending a tower. It just feels like a smarter decision to me to use a ranged weapon in that situation. So I'm going to be the archer. The wailing winds embrace a long-forgotten story. Once a glorious flame, now left to witness its smoldering memory, turns to ash. Be the savior. Oh, I can do it, they prayed. And ward off our eternal suffering. Though flesh may fall, though soul may break, lest any life be abandoned astray, these towers must stand. So like I said, a very stylish little game, dude. Like, it super jumps off the screen at you with all the color palettes and things that they've chosen to use. But this is the actual gameplay itself. We're a little guy on a tower. We can press the 1, 2, or the 3 key, and it's going to teleport us around. We're going to get supplementary stuff that makes us, like, explode when we teleport around, or maybe we get, like, a free AoE shotgun attack whenever we kind of teleport around. But for right now, we're just the basic guy on his last stand, and we're almost assuredly going to die horribly. So let's do the best that we possibly can here. We're going to take as many of these little goopy monsters out with us, and we're going to harvest as many rubies as we possibly can. That way we can upgrade our repertoire in between runs, and hopefully end up being the badass that I know that we can be. Oh, they broke out the little spider monsters. Pretty good enemy variety so far from what I've seen. Like, we're only, what, 30 seconds into our first run, and they've already thrown 3 different types of monsters at us? I like that. I like to see that enemy variety nice and early. However, one thing I have noticed is there's not a lot of interactable ways to play the game, aside from deciding where your character is actually going to be positioned in order to fire arrows at the enemy. There's not a lot of active abilities or anything else, even like an hour or so into the game, and I think that's definitely going to be something that they need to rectify as they get further along inside their development path. You know, we've got lots of games coming out right now that are playing around with sort of like this incremental idea. Oof, this tower's about to get beat up. So your tower has 2 health bars, in case you didn't notice. My resources, dude. I would recommend that when you die, all of the resources be collected automatically to your character before the teleport out. And then, of course, when the tower went down right there, very anticlimactic, no sound effect has actually been assigned to the sound of the tower crumbling. And so maybe like slow down the animation, make it a little bit more sophisticated, make it feel a little more apocalyptic and devastating, hit it with a nice chunky, beefy, bassy sound effect of like stones and mortar crumbling, and then you'll be much more on the path to making that feel good. Let's go ahead and we'll go back to our upgrade tree, because I don't think we're going to pull it together without throwing a few upgrades into the bag. And right here at the beginning of the game, it looks like we've got rapid execution. This will increase our attack speed, so I think that will be helpful. We've also got Warrior's Rhythm. That's going to give us more attack damage. We can teleport more quickly with Ghost Step Calibration, which I don't think we're going to need right this second. Like, I didn't feel like our teleportation was the problem there. I felt like our killing power was actually the problem. And so we've got Reinforced Frame. That'll also make our towers much less susceptible to damage. Okay, well, I'm going to go for the attack speed first, if we can afford it. And it looks like that's about all we can afford for right now. So let me throw myself at the battle one or two more times. I'll stack up some resources. Our character also levels up. I don't know exactly what leveling up our character does. So for like every mob that we kill, this little meter goes up and it persists in between runs, but I haven't really been able to figure out what it affects. There haven't really been any skill trees that are like, oh, for every level that you've accumulated, you get this much more range or you get this many more projectiles. I'm guessing it's just like a flat damage increase, but like it's difficult to say right now. I'll have to pay attention to it today while we're playing. Let me bang my head against this one or two more times, because I found that the early part of this game is much more grindy and slow paced than it needs to be. This game needs to get off the ground a little bit faster, and it suffers from pacing issues. So a few intermediate runs out of the way, and I've managed to upgrade my attack speed and also all of my damage and a little bit of my range. We've also got our first blue token that we got for killing guys, which may be helpful as we get further on into this game. Other things that I'm interested in grabbing, so we've got Stagger right there, but I do think that adding some more health to the tower may be a good idea right here. So let's make the tower a little bit stronger. And then maybe we'll throw a couple of upgrades at being able to teleport faster. And then also, we've got a 1% chance to get double rubies when we kill an enemy. That might help our progression out a little bit and make us go a little bit quicker. But I think we may be in a position right now where we can take down day one. So let's run it and see how the whole thing comes together. So the first little waves of enemies are arriving, slumping their way towards us. They look like me when I wake up in the morning, dude. I have that exact same posture when I first get out of bed. Like the blankie falls off of you, and then like your warm body from being in bed all night makes contact with that cold air, and you're like, oh, dude, I gotta do the day-to-day living thing again. Whack. I was in the world of slumber just a moment ago. All of my dreams were coming true inside of my head, and now I'm awake, and I gotta do like the breakfast thing, and I gotta like rally myself together in order to just like have a productive day. Ugh. The expectations of productivity, dude, they really, really wear you down. All right, well, I can tell from our attack speed that we're doing a lot better here. Like, we're churning out these mobs faster than they're coming out of the hole. However, we've got ourselves a little surprise over here where they came out of both sides, but I think... Oh, no, I hit the wrong tower. No, I didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. I hit the 2 key instead of the 3 key. All right, we're going to click from now on. There we go. We still managed to pull it together, but I would have preferred for it to be a little bit less sloppy. What kind of hero of the realm teleports to the wrong tower, man? That seems like kind of a major screw-up in the overall arrangement of our defensive capabilities. Those dudes smacked that tower up quick, man. They've got like a little ranged attack, but it's kind of difficult to see. A recommendation I would have for that is actually have them emote and animate and actually throw the attack at the tower and let the player see it when it impacts the tower with like a big crunchy boom. You know what I mean? Make everything so your art style is so good with this title right now. Your soundtrack is sounding absolutely fantastic, but it's like those little details that are missing with this game right now. Those little tiny ones. This might be a little bit of a thick engagement on this side. The good news is, though, we are stacking up money like crazy, so we should be able to buy some upgrades after this. Oof, that guy's looking hard as hell. Okay, well, you better slow him down. He's got that big-ass red katana there. Is it going to be enough? How hard is he going to hit the tower? I have questions. I mean, we've got him at half health. That's not that bad. He's smacking the tower up pretty good. But once again, no sound effect for that interact. Oh, he's going to break out the oldie. Okay. He broke out the oldie invincibility aura right there. Yeah, you better keep shooting, man. Are you gonna get him? All right, we brought him down. Hell yeah, dude. Give me all them rubies. And of course, we have acquired the purple eggplant. It will guide us forward, bring us new abilities and new strength. Oh, it just threw me into the next level. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, well, I'll try to get as much of this stuff as I possibly can, but I'm not going to hold out much hope with the way the last level went that we're actually going to accomplish a whole lot here. Let's go back over to this side, maybe. Yeah, those ones aren't going down in one shot. That's going to be how this falls apart. I can tell already, but they are dropping a lot more. Yeah, our damage doesn't look like it's going up as we level either. They're dropping a lot more XP, though. This tower's about to get dookied on, dude. This thing's about to get absolutely broken half. Just pick up all the resources you possibly can before we go down. All right, so let's go back and see what we can upgrade here. So we've got 321 resources, which is pretty badass. These little purple things here, they're gonna allow you to buy new abilities. So we've got a choice right here in what we want to take. We can get the Wander Fang. It channels energy to unleash 3 arrows that automatically seek out targets. Is that an active thing that I have to do? Or is that a thing that the character's just gonna periodically do in order to shoot out more arrows? Difficult to tell. That one right there is not implemented yet. Over on this side, we have the Vanguard's line. We dash towards the selected tower, and we kill everything in between. We've also got the Echo Fall. Leap into the air and crash down at the designated tower, dealing damage inside of a radius. Okay, I'm looking for something that makes my auto attack a little bit more punchy, a little bit more reliable. I think that's what we need. We've got the Echo Piercer. Fires an arrow that pierces enemies. Okay, and then we've got the Fracture Volley. The Fracture Volley, each shot releases 2 additional arrows into its flanks. To me, that one sounds the most useful for the limited resource that we have right now. When I was playing around with the game earlier, you can't get more purple by killing previous bosses over and over and over again. You can get more red and you can get more blue, but you can't get more purple. The purple's a limiting resource, so we've got to pick one thing here, and we're not going to get anything else until we beat this next level. And so I'm probably going to take the Fracture Volley. That sounds like the play to me. Personally, for me from there, I sort of feel like we need more damage more than we need just about anything else. And so this right here is costing me blue, but I am gonna take it dabba dee dabba die. Like, I think I'm gonna burn most of my resources on just doubling my damage, because when I was watching on that last wave, it sort of felt like the damage it's what was holding us back. From there, let's get double rubies on a 2% chance maybe. Like, increasing the rate at which, oh, we can get that up to 5%. I thought I was gonna be out of red. Okay, that works. We can also increase our experience gain, but I don't know what our experience actually does. I was watching it during that last pull, and our damage did not go up when we leveled. So I don't know what that does. Maybe it gives us more of the blue. Maybe that's what it does. It is the same color. So, like, UI-wise, if they were following Gestalt UI design rules, it would mean that we get more blue every time it goes around. So I'm guessing maybe that's what it does. Maybe we'll increase our transit time. That way we can teleport a little bit more. And then maybe some stagger on there to slow down the enemy. That might not be a bad idea. I think I'd actually be on board with that. And then we can get Life Leech. It restores health to the tower that you're standing on. That might not be a bad idea too, so that we can patch up the towers on the fly. Let's go ahead and give day 2 one more run and see how it goes. And then if we end up getting super starched this time around, maybe I'll do the rest of it off camera until we can beat this so that we can get to a new level and get a new ability. Okay, looks like we're lining up all right. The extra damage is going out from the shotgun, and I think it will be advantageous. However, you do kind of have to focus on the clusters in a different way. All right, get up here, get them first. I can select what he shoots at by clicking. And the nice thing is we're getting damage stacking on some of these guys. Like, if multiple projectiles hit them, they got through the shield right there, which kind of sucks, but, like, that's life. Fire at him and maybe we'll cleave some of the other ones the same way. I don't know if we're going to break this one through. Like, to my eye, it looks like we made it a little bit faster, but Tower 3 and Tower 2 look like they're about to get shitted on. So, like, we may just have to live with the decisions that we've made here. The shotgun did not make as much of a difference as I thought it was going to. 600 more XP for me to distribute here, and I think we should be in better shape. So let's get more damage. That's where I feel like we're failing at the moment, is more damage would definitely make this happen. And then we increase our damage for adding arrows. Can I get, I can get more arrows? Oh, but I need blue for that. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait for the blue to come in before we can add more arrows to our shotgun. And it's being a stopgap to this entire section of the tree. So we're not gonna make it able to get up there. However, let's increase the amount of shield that our tower has. We will also increase our critical hit chance, I think. And then from there, I do need more XP. I've noticed that I'm not leveling, and I need a lot more blue to do the things that I want to do out here. And we've pretty much maxed out the tree as it stands right now, but I can make my crits hit harder. Whether or not this is going to be enough to get us over the hump on day 2, I'm not super sure, but I'm going to give it a rip and kind of see how it goes. I would prefer to actually get a lot more attack speed. That's what I want. And now that I'm listening to the soundscape, like, you got to make the bow flips a little bit louder too. The sound of the arrows impacting the enemy, I think that the sound effects are actually letting this game down pretty good right now, because they've got the art style, you know what I mean? The art style has the juice. I can see that. It's a good-looking game. It's just that the sound effects do not have the juice. And so I would definitely focus a bit on... Ooh, all 3 of them in one shot? Let's go. Hell yeah. Can you get any of them? If you can, it'll thin out the problems we're about to have over here. All right, keep fighting. Yeah, the level up gives you blue. All right, so now I'm watching. Now I'm seeing. Do you see? We got to get all, like, red dragon with it. There we go. Go to that side. Punch these fools up a little bit. As soon as our cooldown's back up, we're going to go over to here. I'm not going to focus on siphoning up all my resources. We're making progress. Like, we're making the jump here, dude. Every now and again when I teleport, he fires an arrow randomly at somebody on the battlefield with no range limitation. I'm kind of wondering if that's like a planned, implemented thing too, and if I'm just failing to play around his abilities properly. Did you see how he did that right there? I swear to God, it's a thing, man. We need to go to Tower 3, and we need to protect this thing. Shoot all 3 of them with one shot. Oh, you didn't get all 3 of them with one shot, dude. I needed you to get all 3 with one shot, my man. 3 or 2, 3 or 2. I'll try 3, but I think 2 is going to get 8. I mean, we are making better progress. He's not able to hit that guy right there. Is that a bug? Huh, must have been a bug, because he shot at that guy like 5 times and didn't hit him a single time. Either way, we've got upgrades to rock with. I think increasing the amount of arrows we have is probably the best upgrade that we can possibly get for now. And then we've got more crit rate, we've got more damage, and we've got more HP to our towers. I'm going to take the damage just straight off the top. Damage dealt to bosses up by 10% might be good too, and then we'll add some more HP to the towers. Let me see how this goes, and if it ends up being successful, I'll bring you back in. Gentlemen, I am proud to say that after this next batch of upgrades, I think we've got this level in the bag. I made it all the way back to the end. I can get like another 6 damage. I'll take that. Right this second. With another purple, I can make it so that my shots have chances to light things on fire and stuff too, which might be kind of spicy. The cycle reducer. Decrease the cooldown on all skills by 4%. Is that even 4%? That's like a fraction of a percent. That's not helpful. Get that out. What in what world do I want a fraction of a percent of increase? That's so little. All right, well, let's focus on what we can do here. There's actually not a lot to gun for except up in like the top right-hand corner, so I guess I'll stick to that. I will increase my critical rate for sure. That sounds nice. And then I'll just focus on making my towers sturdier, more secure, ready to survive by comparison to we can actually get regeneration on our towers too. Might be nice. I would definitely consider that. Okay, day 2 battle. I've got you in the bag. I've got that ass, little monsters, little oil monsters. Get up in here. Show me what you're working with. Show me what you got. Extra arrows, claiming lives right now. I brought quivers full of them plasma arrows with the blap blaps. Yup, that's what I'm talking about. You see that 177 damage right there? That's how we rock. That's how we whip. That's how we ride. That's how we get it done on the dance floor. We boogie. I'm going to go back up. I'm focusing too much on grabbing resources off the ground, instead of focusing on killing enemies. So you just spray arrows everywhere that you possibly can, and if you can hit stuff that's slightly outside the circle too, I will not be against it. We've got a whole bunch of them on this side. Good. They're gonna try to split me both ways right now, man. I don't like what's happening here. I have a creeping anxiety about the way that this is gonna play out. Also, I feel like I'm not teleporting fast enough. Get back up to 2. Okay. We can hold this off. Just don't take any damage. It's going to be all right. We're going to survive this. Everything's going to be okay. Go back over to... Oh, that was a dirty trick right there. That was a dirty trick right there. I seen what you did. You split your wave. Can't believe you did this to me. Just a really foul thing to do to somebody that you consider a friend. That's how you're going to play me. You're going to play me dirty and rotten like that. Come over here and get that one little spiderling off there. And the second that cooldown comes back up, we'll protect the 1 tower. And now we got to decide between 2 and 3. I'm going to go with 3. It's got more on it right now. Yeah, just keep blasting away. And then we'll go up to 2. We've got regeneration and we've got life drain. So I'm hoping that that'll kind of fix up our problems. I got to pick between 2 and 3. 2's more hurt. Okay, we'll let 3 take a little bit of a chomping here for a second. Oh, look at that, dude. We've got a brand new monster buddy up here. Unfortunately, my teleport is not ready to go. Shoot him! Shoot him so hard! Shoot him more harder! Where's he trying to go right now? He's going to 1. Get his ass. Pop him up. Drop him with the shotgun. Boom, boom. Got him! Give me all them goodies. And give me that purpley wurpley too, because I'm excited about the purpley wurpley. What do we got going on in the next level? So after a brief bit of farming, I think we're about ready to go after level 3. Like, I think we're about there. So I kind of had to cut the video and do the level a couple times over in order to get some resources, level up a little bit, so that we can grab some new stuff. But we do have access to another purple, so it's probably going to be a good idea that we spend that. As of right now, the purple that we have available to spend can either go towards Vanguard's line, which we talked about earlier. It can go towards the AoE whenever we teleport to a tower. That might be helpful. I do like the idea of the Wander Fang, though, because that gives us an active ability. And one of the things that's really come across to me during the course of playing this game and giving it the first impressions is that it's not a game that really has a whole lot of active gameplay. Like, the visual aspect of the game definitely has the juice, but you mostly just kind of sit there and teleport your guy in between towers, and other than that, you don't have a whole lot of interaction with the game aside from upgrading things. So I think I'm going to go with the Wander Fang right here, even though I think the AoE might actually be more useful. That also gave us access to, I think, oh, we can't go that way. All right, well, never mind then. We can decrease the amount of time that it takes us to channel the ability, which I think is not the worst idea. Everything else has like a padlock on it. We need like purple for that. Okay, well, I don't want to spend all of my blue on that just yet. But what do we have up here? So we have Life Leech. Over on this side, we have a 30% chance to get double red. That might be helpful for filling in nodes, but I don't know. Increase your collect range. Okay. We can also make our towers just flatly regenerate, which might be a good thing to pick up. That right there gives us 40% more HP on the tower for each click too, which sounds pretty good. Let's check out this day 3 and see how it goes. All right, day 3, we've got Great Gamaniac. Oh, we've actually got ourselves like another little location we've got to go to as well. All right, so if I fire those out, I obviously need to go to the central tower here. Yep, just keep them off the tower real quick before they get through it. They might whittle their way through, but we've got regeneration and whatnot now. The nice thing about the central tower, though, is we can actually bust shots at stuff pretty easily from every single angle. I didn't think they were going to add extra towers, which I do think is kind of an interesting twist. I probably should have gone to the middle from there. That's going to be our conflict right there, is like, when do we go to the middle, and like, when do we make that happen versus when do we pick a side? I think that would be the obvious time when we want to pick a side, but they are trying to, like, tricksy me here. Get right there. There we go. I got to pick up all my currency too before they deal too much damage here. We got one big dog right there. The good news is he's going to eat most of our shotgun shells, so we're getting stacking damage on these larger models right here. Like, we're not just hitting them with one arrow, and actually this level 3 right here, pretty good for shoot that one. Stop ignoring the ones that I'm telling you to go after. Get this over here. Do those fly an infinite distance? No, they do not. Okay, so we're actually going to have to come over here and solve this problem. Let me gather up all my resources real fast. We'll go back over to 1, and then 2's taking a little bit of a scuffing right here, but by the time we get done with all these mobs, we should be ready to go over and babysit it and make sure it doesn't get chewed on too hard. Let's go over to 3 real fast. Ooh, unfortunately, they baited me with that one, dude. They keep getting me with these little swap outs. You notice that? They send out like one mob that baits you to go after one of the towers, and then the second mob that follows it out goes to the other tower. So you're like, ugh, dude, just getting bamboozled. How hard can I hit this guy with what I've got? There we go. Get him with the channel. I think we've got this, dude, because he's going to teleport out right there if he's anything like the last time we fought Gamaniac. He shouldn't be that big of a problem. Where's he going to try to run off to? He's going to go to 1. All right, we should be able to smoke him pretty easily. And that made level 3 kind of like not that bad. Did we make it? Okay. I may have spoken a little bit too soon right there. I wasn't quite sure that he wasn't going to one-shot once he got through the shield. But we did get some resources, so let's go back to the upgrade tree and we'll play around with that for a second and see what we can get here. With another purple, I think I definitely want Echo Fall for dealing damage to the guys where I teleport in. I don't know what support stuff that's going to give me, so it looks like actually it gave us a reduction in cooldown to our movement. That could be very helpful. We also got base damage on the move skill. This one right here only takes red, so I'm going to nerf that down about as far as I possibly can, and it looks like we've hit the end of the demo. Bummer. I like the game. Like I said, I think the visuals and the animation definitely have the juice, but there's a couple of outstanding problems here. A, the game has a pacing problem, so they keep you in the doldrums of not really being able to do much and watching the game play itself and repeatedly playing levels over and over and over again for too long. I don't think that the progression aspect of the game, like grabbing these little things in here, is too much of a problem. I think it's just that too much of the game is sitting around not interacting with it at all, aside from occasionally pressing the 1, 2, or the 3 key. From there, the sound effects need to be punched up quite a bit to go along with the banger soundtrack that they've got going on. So, like, the thing is, the soundtrack and the visuals are so high quality that you expect everything else to live up to them. And unfortunately, I don't think that the sound effects do. They're not punchy enough. They're not plosive enough. They don't hit hard enough for what you're seeing visually represented on screen. So they're definitely going to want to make that happen as well. And then from there, I think the game just needs a little bit more active gameplay. Aside from that, it's a satisfying game to play. I like the way that it looks. I like the way that the characters look. I like the way that upgrading things inside of this menu feels. But it also kind of feels like it's missing a mechanic to me, whether that be gear or like random drops that happen off of enemies that are like gems that can be combined, and you can slot them in somewhere on the skill tree in order to add modifiers to other things that you're doing. It feels like it's like one short on just mechanics right now. It needs something else added on in there. But this was Ash Warden. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today it was Ash Warden. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's about all I got for you, folks. Take care.